Norwich City 0, Arsenal 5, Janusz, Michallik. The Gunners among the goals again. They're looking good right now. Were they that good or were Norwich that bad today?
Well, there's often a combination of both when we say that, right? Because, Norwich didn't play well, but under Dean Smith, there was a ray of hope, and it still is, right? There was a time before he came over that I think all of us had Norwich City sent down to the championship already. And, they've had some results here and there, but the story really is about Arsenal because this is not a one-off. The one thing we knew about Arsenal this season and in the past two seasons, that they were extremely inconsistent. Well, look what happened. 4 straight Premier League wins. I think 14 goals in those 4 games. And if you count the Sunderland 5-1 win in the League Cup, that's additional 5 goals there. So I'll tell you what, you're looking at a team that's, I want to say, reborn. And, you can mention not just the team, but number of players that under Mikel Arteta as of late have been absolutely tremendous.
Saka and Odegaard and Martinelli in behind Lacazette. That wasn't happening when Aubameyang was playing. Was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang more of a hindrance than a help? And are Arsenal better off without him now because they seem to have found the rhythm?
Well, I mean, the worst thing you can do as a player in terms of indiscipline is to be there in the first place, but B, when the team's doing well without you, right? So, I mean, it's not necessarily, who's to say, maybe under Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, they would still find a way. It is very easy to come to a conclusion and say, look, Martinelli's getting his chance. I think we all knew that his time was coming or would come. And that, may be the fact that they're working a little bit harder and their body language is better than Aubameyang. But I just think there's more to that. Odegaard, not a special player. He really isn't. But for this team, he really is the playmaker that they very much needed, right? Like I said, is reborn. No two ways about it. You look at Kieran Tierney. I mean, that one goal today, remember when Martinelli had the ball on the right-hand side, change it to Odegaard. Odegaard was just looking at an overlapping Tierney, and Tierney puts that goal nice and easy to the far post on the ground to make it 2-0. And all of a sudden, there's no drama. I mean, how many games we've seen where you think Arsenal can, but there comes the drama, home or away. That's been missing as of late. And yes, it's easy to say that they haven't done it against the big teams, but I'll tell you what, if you can't do it against the big teams, you got to do it against other teams. And they have. They're in the 4th spot. They're 3 points behind Chelsea, who play later tonight against Villa, but 3 points behind that. So, I mean, this is, for the first time, the players and the fans have some hope. You know how massive this is, Mark, right? To be in a season where as a player, you actually feel hope, which has been missing from Arsenal. So that's big psychologically.
Managers don't like to kind of isolate and identify and talk specifically about certain players. I want to do that with you, though. And I want to talk about Bukayo Saka, because when most of us were in our early 20s, we probably thought we knew everything. In hindsight, we knew absolutely nothing. Saka's had an absolutely horrible end to his summer after a brilliant beginning to his summer with England, and there were all sorts of ridiculous things that were written and done about Bukayo Saka. Okay, for him to bounce back the way that he's done, to get the first and the third goal today, but just to play football with a smile on his face. For me, there's a bigger message here, Janusz, and it's out with football. It's that we all go through tough times, but you know what? If you keep your head down, keep working hard, there can be light at the end of a tunnel.
Yeah, I think, Mikel Arteta was talking about that, right? That he's bounced and he showed maturity. It's not always easy. Sometimes it just happens. I mean, we don't know why, right? I mean, he's a young player. The funny thing about young players, they forget very, very quickly, right? And I think nobody truly held it against him, when a young player, what happened in penalties to him in European Championships. So I think we all knew that Bukayo Saka has been, if not best Arsenal player, the most consistent, right, throughout, even when Arsenal were losing games. I think ever since he's been moved to the right-hand side, which was smart move, and I don't know why it took so long. He's much better there. He can almost trademark that goal that he scored again today, coming inside, left foot, but low, not like Arjen Robben kind of bending it around, high. I mean, we've seen it so many times right now from him. He's been very, very good. And I think he knows that he's good. He knows that he's playing well. I think he understands that the players around him and the manager trust him as well, right? So, it's always good. And when results come the way they've been coming in the last 4 or 5 games, it always helps as well.
You and I have worked together for over a decade now, Janusz. You know I love a Scottish reference. Does Scotland now have the two greatest left backs in the world, with Andrew Robertson and Kieran Tierney? Because Kieran getting among the goals. And he's been pushed hard, hasn't he, by Tavares, but he's in the team and he's back among the goals.
Yes. Now you have to fill in the other 10 positions, Mark. And Scotland will win the World Cup. But look, yeah, I mean, the competition there for sure. I mean, two marquee players anywhere, not just in the Premier League, but anywhere in Europe or in the world. Those two players obviously are very good defensively. They know when and how to get forward. They score goals, they assist on him. So, yeah, I mean, on that side, I think I envy you and Scotland. So it can only pay dividends, because the competition between those two is going to be fierce. Although I know that they've played both together, on that left-hand side as well for Scotland. So maybe that's the answer when it comes for Scotland to qualify for the World Cup. And that's coming up in, when is it? In March, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got Tierney playing as left centre-back and Andrew Robertson at left wing-back. So we found a way to play the two. I want to end this one. Arsenal winning 5-0 with Norwich. Any chance of them avoiding the drop, or should they not be judged about games like against Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm still going to be very careful, right? I mean, I think we've seen that from Arsenal. I think, I'll look back at the table in, late February and in March, because we've seen that's, in January, February, that's been a problem for Arsenal at the best of times sometimes, right? And they pick it up right at the end of the season when kind of all the trophies are gone. For them, one thing in mind is to finish top 4, because all of a sudden that's in the conversation. And I don't think anyone even thought about that based on how the last 2 seasons ended and how this season started.
Some really good stuff today from Arsenal, a 5-0 win away from home. Pierre-Emerick, who?
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.